This video has been made possible by the Orange County Visitors Association and with the generous support of Fashion Island, Irvine Spectrum Center, Macy's, and the Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Center for Cultural Understanding.
Fashion Island, Orange County's premier coastal shopping destination, features a diverse blend of designer boutiques, fine dining and casual outdoor cafes. World-class stores include Nordstrom, Bloomingdale's and Macy's. In addition, Fashion Island is home to more than 60 retailers unique to Orange County, including Neiman Marcus, Joie, and Kate Spade. Fashion Island, the epitome of Southern California's coastal lifestyle. Irvine Spectrum Center, one of Orange County's most energized shopping destinations, joins together a diverse collection of over 130 specialty stores, restaurants, and entertainment venues, including Nordstrom, Macy's, Target, H&M, Edwards 21 Cinemas, Improv Comedy Club, a whimsical carousel, and a 108-foot giant wheel. Irvine Spectrum Center. Experience the unexpected.
Macy's is one of America's most iconic department stores, recognized internationally for its unique fashion sense and world-famous epic events, such as the 4th of July fireworks and the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Widely known as America's department store, Macy's offers the latest fashions and accessories from the most sought-after American designers and brands, making it a dynamic shopping experience for millions of visitors each year. Macy's offers a unique program custom designed for global travelers. With Macy's exclusive Visitor Savings Pass, travelers can receive VIP treatment and exclusive savings, as well as personal services provided by Macy's at over 800 stores across the U.S. International and domestic visitors love the Visitor Savings Program because they can save 10% on almost everything at any Macy's stores nationwide. Visit www.visitmacysusa.com for more info.
Last year, the Orange County Visitors Association produced a training film regarding China and our Chinese guests coming to Orange County. This year, we are one more step in our globalization of our guests, and we're introducing today a training film around our guests from the Middle East. As in the past, we are focused on the culture, the norms, and the things that will help you take better care of our guests from the Middle East. This market is growing, and it's growing significantly, and we have more than our fair share of the market. We expect to see increased growth, but the important part of this market is these guests stay with us for 30 to 45 days. They just don't drop in. They become part of our community. And we want to make them welcome because they enjoy everything that Orange County has. So we're looking forward in this training film to providing you with the tools that will make Orange County the best place to come to for our friends from the Middle East. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
The Sheikh Mohammed Center for Cultural Understanding is a non-profit organization under the patronage of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. Located in a traditional wind tower house, the center was established in 1998 with the aims to increase awareness and mutual understanding between UAE nationals and other nationalities.
The main two goals that we've started the center is to educate the expats and the non-Arabs about our culture. The other side of it is to educate the locals, male and female, the young, on how important to deliver that message and to educate ourselves and be ready trained well to run such programs, to create as much Q&A sessions and be so professional in delivering that message to the expats.
Sheikh Mohammed Center for Cultural Understanding is the place where it can make the difference. Okay, the place where can gather different backgrounds, different cultures, different mentalities in one place and exchange ideas and opinions. It is a place where it has an aim and a goal to change people's ideas about the Muslims and the locals.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Nasif Qaid, Managing Director of the Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Center for Cultural Understanding. It is my pleasure to work with the Orange County Visitors Association to provide you with some insights into the cultures of the Arabian Gulf, with specific reference to the Emirati culture here in the UAE. Today we will cover such topics as: what are the Gulf states? Who are the people of the Gulf? What are the foundation of the Gulf states culture? How do you warmly welcome us when we come to Orange County? Some cultural pitfalls to avoid. Simple greetings. The Gulf states are often collectively referred to as the GCC, which stands for the Gulf Cooperation Council. The GCC is a political and economic union which was established in 1981. This grouping includes the countries of Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. The United Arab Emirates, just like the United States, is a federation. However, whereas the US is a federation of states, the UAE is a federation of 7 emirates, each of which has its own residual powers and is headed by its own ruler and ruling family. The 7 emirates include Abu Dhabi, the capital, Dubai, Sharjah, Ajman, Al Quwain, Ras Al Khaimah, and Fujairah. The countries of the GCC each have their own local citizens or nationals. In the UAE, we are collectively referred to as Emiratis. Our region is quite unique for the number of expatriates who choose to work and live in our communities. Expatriates hail from around the world, making the GCC one of the most diverse regions on the planet. In total, around 43% of the total GCC populations are expatriates. In Qatar and here in the UAE, the number of expatriates can account for more than 80% of the population, making our region culturally diverse and vibrant one. One key connecting factor among the nationals of the GCC is that we share the Arabic language. Dialects do exist, and many of us also speak English, as well as other languages. The most important pillar of our cultures, however, is our shared religion, which is Islam. Another key pillar of our culture is family, which is the basis of Emirati social structure and plays a role in shaping a person's values and behavior. Hospitality is also an essential part of Emirati culture and applies to both social and professional contexts. Let us now look at each of these 3 pillars of our culture in depth. Like Judaism and Christianity, Islam teaches that there is one God. As Muslims, we believe that people are created equally, all in the sight of Allah, God. There is no superiority of one over the other one, regardless of color, gender, or status. Except piety, righteousness, and only the Lord Himself, He can judge that. Muslims are required to respect the dignity of mankind. So now let's look at the 5 pillars of Islam. Number 1, Shahada, which is really to testify the creed of the pledge to Allah, that He is one, and that Muhammad, peace be upon him, is the last and final messenger. Number 2, the prayer. 5 daily prayers must be performed, no exceptions. Siyam, which is really fasting, which happens during the month of Ramadan. Then Zakat, charity. This is obligatory. Unlike charity, it might be not obligatory or compulsory. Zakat, you have to give 2.5% of your excess wealth to those whom don't have anything. Hajj, pilgrimage. you must go to Mecca once in a lifetime, which is in Saudi Arabia. Let's now look at two of these pillars in Islam, as they are very important to all of us, especially when we come to visit Orange County. One is prayer, number two is fasting. Daily prayers. 5 times a day you have to perform the daily prayers. It's a duty on every Muslim, male or female, once you have reached the age of puberty. When traveling in a daily life, we have to perform the prayer, so we come and we do what we call a wash, a wudu. We wash our hands, our mouth, our face, our feet. We prepare to go to the prayer. Prayers are made while the person faces chest-wise towards Mecca. Nowadays, basic understanding of our needs to perform the daily prayers becomes very important, and simple suggestion might be is the following. Hotels, retailers, restaurants may wish to consider providing a printout of what are the time of the day for the prayer. Some organizations may have a small room dedicated for such multi-faith reflection rooms. These are ideal. Even if such dedicated spaces aren't available, a good, nice, quiet, small, private place will do. But please, a place where there is no pictures particularly will be fine. So as long as it's quiet, clean, near a restroom, we're good to go. Multi-faith reflection rooms should also have a little and discrete marker known as Qibla. This is like the direction of Mecca, where is the house of worship in Saudi Arabia. That's where we have to direct ourselves during prayer. This can be fixed on the ceiling, can be fixed in a drawer of a dresser, depending on the room and the space. But having the direction of the Qibla sometimes can be very handy and very helpful. Fasting is an obligatory on all male and female. After the age of puberty, just like prayer, you begin to fast and you learn to understand that is in this month you are to become a better human being. It is a month where we are very happy, very excited, we enjoy. Women who are pregnant, women who are breastfeeding, old people, young kids are not to fast. Ill people, sick people, aged people are not to fast. So therefore, only certain people will fast, and when they fast, no food, no drink, no water, no gum, no smoking, and no intimate relationship with your spouse from break of dawn till sunset for 29 to 30 days. It's called the month of Ramadan. In Ramadan, while fasting, there is two really major meals. One is suhoor, which is right before crack of dawn. You eat something very light, and then you begin at crack of dawn to abstain from eating, drinking, and so on, like we said before. Now, when it comes to iftar at sunset, you have to have water. Dates will be greatly appreciated, and you then eat your slight meal. A prayer, of course, will take place at that time. The following points are some suggestions that you might wish to consider to make a Muslim visit during Ramadan even more special. 1. Just be aware that when a person is fasting during the day, their sugar level will be changing. Don't plan or expect visitors to do overly energetic activities or long periods of talking, as they will not be able to drink even water during the daylight hours. 2. Refrain from offering refreshments during the daylight hours as a nice courtesy. Refrain from openly drinking and eating in front of someone who's already fasting. 3. For hoteliers, there should be no welcome baskets of fruits and nuts or drinks even for travelers arriving during the daylight hours in the month of Ramadan. However, delivery of the welcome amenities following the nightfall would be greatly appreciated. Plus, you should ask, just in case because of traveling, they're not fasting, that could be the case. Where possible, 24-hour in-room dining menus should also offer a pre-dawn breakfast option during Ramadan. This can be a very simple breakfast option, continental or just a small bite. 4. Offer dates and water, very important, before breaking of the fast. Be sure to always have some dates and bottled water ready for Muslims at sunset. In your retail, in your hospitality place, tour operator, or attractions, or even restaurants. Remember, sunset, it's time to break your fast. It's time for you to offer dates, it's time to offer water, it's time for it both to be ready. Last but not least, offer a greeting. Just like in Christianity we say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, we here have Ramadan Kareem or Ramadan Mubarak. Ramadan Kareem mean generous Ramadan, Ramadan Mubarak mean blessed Ramadan. Very nice. You can give a card if you felt like it too. Keep it in mind that right after Ramadan, it is called Eid. For 3 days, it's a festive time for us to really visit and celebrate having done 29 or 30 days of lunar calendar month of fasting and becoming a better human being. 2 months and 10 days after that, the pilgrimage takes place. Right after the pilgrimage is Eid al-Adha. It's the celebration or festivities of sacrifice. During both of these Eid holidays, many Muslims families will travel, and no doubt about it, we would love to come and visit your beautiful Orange County. So arriving on days such as these days, the festivities of the Eid, it would be nice to have a greeting called Eid Mubarak. Also, you can give us a card. That would be very nice too. In Islam, there are restrictions when it comes to eating. No pork, no alcohol, no drinking alcohol. So if I am in a restaurant and I order a meal, make sure that you make me feel comfortable, that this is not cooked with lard, that this is away and far from pork, that there is no pork in it in any way, or even cooked with wine. If I was to come and sit with my family, a place where there is no alcohol right next to me, away from the bar, or away from where the wine glass bottles are, will be very nice. On the other hand, making sure that you know seafood is all good, absolutely. Shell seafood is also fine, and all vegetables are fine. So there is no restriction when it comes to that. But given the restrictions, always we appreciate a clear menu that defines where there is pork and there is no pork, alcohol, no alcohol, what is not. So the details of the cooked meal will be very nice and appreciated. Or by the staff, they should explain and make us feel comfortable that it's all taken care of as per our liking. For hoteliers, it is appreciated when the concierge or guest relation desk can provide a list or a map of some halal restaurants in the area or some maybe Mediterranean restaurants if need be.
Hello, my name is Dahlia and I'm a volunteer here at the Sheikh Mohammed Center for Cultural Understanding. I would like to talk to you today about certain topics such as women in Islam, clothing in Islam, as well as particular reference to the GCC countries, the importance of family within our culture, as well as certain social pitfalls to avoid. So when it comes to women in Islam, Islam looks at women as an equal, mature, and capable individual. Men and women are all of God's creation or Allah's creation, existing at an equal value and worth. In some societies, women are treated according to ancestral customs or tribal traditions, but in Islam, they are treated with full respect and honor. Women in the United Arab Emirates are encouraged to lead full and productive lives. It might not be widely known in the West, but today, Emirati women hold some of the most senior positions in the government. Clothing in Islam is perhaps the most misunderstood facet of our religion amongst the West. For both females and males, Islam requires that we wear a proper dress that must be modest and as well as clean. When it comes to Muslim women, though, yes, we are instructed to cover a little bit more than men, and this is possibly specifically when it comes to the head covering. Although at home, when it comes to our family members, such as cousins, brothers, uncles, grandfathers, close family and other women, we typically are not dressed as conservatively when we dress outside in public. The Quran does not specify particular styles or designs of clothing and other dress forms. Clothing has varied widely across Islamic regions. So you'll have sometimes in the Gulf, it's very popular that you see women wearing black, but when it comes to places like Malaysia or Indonesia or even China, people are wearing very colorful clothing, especially in Africa as well. But as I said earlier, when it comes to Islam, there is nothing specified when it comes to what color or how it should look like. It just really needs to be modest. In some Muslim countries, some sort of head covering or veiling, or also known as hijab, is mandated both for Muslim women and Muslim men. In a handful of Islamic countries such as Iran or Saudi Arabia, all women are required to wear a veil in public. These forms of veiling do definitely vary between countries and are often results of some sort of culture or fashion trends, but mostly have to lie with influence of politics and not so much, or probably nothing, that has to do with religious ruling. So when it comes to local Emirati dress here in the United Arab Emirates, the black actually is, you could say, a new part of the culture. We have not been wearing black for a very long time. It really was something that was started in the 1950s. Traditionally, women used to wear a very colorful dress that also comes with a pants that goes underneath. And it actually is a dress that we still wear very commonly until today. A lot of times we will actually wear it, especially on special occasions or holidays like Eid holidays and throughout the whole month of Ramadan. Now, when it comes to the black was initially started, as I said, in the 1950s, and it came to basically just protect the outer or your underneath dress from getting dirty. So it was a really nice practical way of keeping your clothes clean. And then, of course, as women, we always take it to a whole other level. And what really happened is that it began to be closed, which was great practicality-wise. So now you can only wear one layer instead of many layers when you go out and about. And then it began to become open. And this is where you see today where Emirati women are wearing full-on outfits underneath the abaya. And the abaya has really become more of a fashion statement more than anything else. There is even a cultural element to it always, but it still has more to do with fashion. Emirati women fashion designers have basically taken the abaya to a whole other level, where there's different colors, intricate designs, fabrics, textures. Even one year I remember there was spikes on the shoulders of everyone's abaya. So you can do anything with an abaya. Now, when it comes to other types of coverings, such as the face covers, for Emirati women, we traditionally wear a burqa. A burqa is a leather mask that actually was used to protect a woman's face during the harsh weather elements, as well as it was supposed to accentuate certain facial features, something that was traditionally only worn here in the UAE. Also, you have other types of face veils that you might find in the United Arab Emirates, such as the ghashwa, which is a very thin layer, typically sometimes coming from the headscarf of the woman, where she will just throw it over her face. This either to sometimes protect herself from weather elements, or it may be one of the royal women hiding their identity simply so they're just not bothered in public places like the malls and so on and so forth. But face covers in general are not popular in the United Arab Emirates. Now, you also find another face cover known as the niqab, where your face is fully veiled and only your eyes are showing. This is another type of face cover that you will find in the GCC, particularly popular in Saudi Arabia, but it is not, again, part of religious rule. This is a culture and tradition, and sometimes implemented by politics of certain countries. So all of this is different cultures that you see throughout the GCC, but ask 10 different women why do they dress the way they dress, they'll give you 10 different answers. When traveling overseas, women from the GCC will typically choose to wear other type of clothing, or clothing that is, I would say, more used to the place that we're going to visit. So similar to if we were to go to the US, we would probably typically dress like Americans. And really, we do not wear our local dress outside of the GCC. But maybe when it comes to someone like my grandmother, it'll be very difficult to get her to change her outfit. But other than that, we typically always change when we leave the GCC countries. Now, as for men in the UAE typically wear a kandora, which is a long white dress. Of course, men don't like it when we call it a dress, but it's similar to a long, maybe you could say, shirt that is made from cotton or wool. And they typically also cover their head with a ghatra and an argal, and a sifra and a gahfiya, which is typically the undercap that you see underneath the ghatra. So when it does come to traveling outside of the GCC, the younger generation Western style clothing is typically very popular. And we always will typically dress in whatever we see maybe on TV or we see in the latest fashion trends. We could be wearing jeans, shirts, and so on and so forth, but this is definitely something that you'll see, especially amongst the younger population. And sometimes we do go for this type of dress even within our own country. So in Islam, as well as GCC culture, family is one of the most important parts of our life. This extends to extended family, our tribes, and the way we feel as a nation in whole. A central concept of expanding family in Islam, as well as in our culture, is marriage. And marriage is probably one of the most important parts of our life here in the Gulf, as well as in Islam. It's our second part of our faith. And really for us, when we get married, it is very typical for us until today to get married through an arranged marriage. Now, an arranged marriage, don't worry, is not something where you are forced. As Islam says, women are supposed to give their agreement, or they're supposed to give some sort of sign that they agree to the marriage, as well as the man as well. It's his right to say yes or no. But what an arranged marriage really is for us is that we're set up on a blind date. So if you've ever been set up on a blind date where somebody sets you up according to compatibility, this is exactly how we get married here in the UAE. Anyone could set me up. It could be a family member. It could be my best friend. People who know me really well will set me up with somebody who they think will match my personality. And we do have a chance to get to know each other. We could also date. But we call it public dating, as no intimate relationships are allowed before marriage. Now, when it comes to getting married, a woman is also given rights according to Islam that are what we call non-negotiable and always instilled in the marriage contract. Some of these rights are very popular. You could say 5 of them are very popular. The first one being education, as behind every great man is a greater woman. And we also have the right to inheritance. So we do inherit from our husband, as well as we also, of course, inherit from our family members. We also have the right to our own money and our own earnings. So any money that we make belongs to us. And any money that our husband makes also belongs to us, especially here in the GCC. We also have the right to a dowry, which is a financial gift that's typically given from the husband, or sometimes the husband's family as well, to the wife to make her financially independent to him. And last but not least, a woman also has the right to divorce, and this is a right for her to divorce her husband freely. Families in the GCC tend to be larger than those in the West today, and it is not unusual for us to have in-house domestic help, which typically are also considered to be family members, and they always usually travel with us as well. Now, when it comes to people or families traveling from the Gulf, such as the UAE or Saudi Arabia, a lot of times our family trips could be people anywhere from 6 to 12 or even more. As such, when traveling, there tends to be a preference for private apartment-style accommodation or rooms with interconnecting doors. As Emiratis, we are incredibly social people. We love to meet new people, make friendships, and especially enjoy a good joke. At the same time, however, privacy is definitely a major concern, and for us it is highly desired, not only in the home but also when we travel abroad. Additionally, when we socialize outside of the family, males tend to socialize with their male friends and the women with women. In addition to traveling with the family, it's also very common for groups of friends to travel abroad together. The bonds of friendship amongst us are great, and it is not uncommon for men of all ages to walk hand in hand as a sign of friendship. Having a culture that appreciates privacy and modesty, there are a couple of social pitfalls to avoid. One, we ask that you do not take pictures of GCC national women without obtaining their permission first. Number two, when approaching a family from the Gulf states to interact with them, males should approach the males present within that group as a female approaches the females that are present. This approach makes the situation less awkward for all involved. Number three, it's not considered polite for one man to ask another how his wife or his daughters are. Best is to simply ask in general terms, how is your family? Now, number four, do say hello and strike up a conversation with us. We love to meet new people, and we also love to shop, definitely.
Another major pillar of our culture is hospitality and greetings. It really depends. We have etiquettes and protocols. When we meet a woman, when we meet a man, different ways of greeting each other. Also, it depends on how well do I know you. Are you a close family member? Are you an elder person? So that all depends. So in business or social settings, the greeting is as follows. We men shake hands, not too strong, slight, but also at the same time, sometimes we would lean on each other by shaking the hand, tapping on the shoulder, and possibly kissing on the cheek. It could be on one cheek, it could be on two cheeks. It really depends on the friendship, it depends on the culture and the region particularly. A traditional greeting also between us is that we tap noses. This is like Eskimos. It's very close to that. When it comes to older people, we might kiss their head, and that's about all. On the other hand, greetings between women, whether it's social or business, women tend to also softly shake each other's hand, lean towards each other, and kiss each other's on the cheeks. 3 times on one cheek, both cheeks. It depends on the ladies and how they know, how well they know each other. Now, greetings when it comes to male and female. Take a note of that. When a man approaches a woman, there's no shaking hands, but it depends sometimes. But the woman has the right to extend her hand first, just in case she's not interested in a strange man imposing on her. So you wait for her. Otherwise, we nod our heads or we place our hand on our heart, and that's a very simple way of greeting each other. So again, for male and female, we have to understand that there is boundaries and there is etiquette, just like we have etiquettes with the queens or the royal people. When it comes to our names, really first name is proper enough. Mr. So-and-so, like me, Mr. Nasif will do. On the other hand, second name can work, or the last name is fine, either one, Mr. or Mrs. Don't stress it really. On the other hand, when it comes to bin so-and-so or al so-and-so, that's also sometimes appropriate to make sure that the family name is included. If they are of status, such as royals or their excellency, it would be nice to say your excellency, your highness. That would be also proper. We GCC nationals don't have a complicated reference when it comes to business cards or business card etiquette. We don't have to carry it with both hands, nor that you have to hand it to us that way. I always joke with my Asian counterparts, why is your card too heavy? You can just simply hand it to us with one hand, just don't flick it at me. When it comes to making business cards for me, if you add the Arabic touch to it, that would be great. That would be very nice. Small talk is a great thing. We love it. We don't like to dive into business right away. We always like to have a chat a little bit about how's the weather, how's your family doing, not how's your wife doing, but how's your family, how's the kids, how's everything. Talk about what's in the market, what's in the news today, and then begin to really proceed to business. Let us just have a break ice, get to know one another before we go into business and become very serious talk. Now let's talk about cultural tips. When walking through the doorway, we always go for the ones who is on the right. If you want that person who's older than you to go first, then make sure that you are on their left. We don't have seniority or we don't have higher level people first. No, on the right goes first. 2, when sitting in a meeting, sit properly like you are in a courthouse. There is no reason to be lifting your legs, crossing your legs in a way where it might be inappropriate, especially in front of an older person. When it comes to giving gift, that's also another thing. You give me a gift, I'm not going to open it in front of you. I would like to just keep it for private, just in case. But also don't give me alcohol. That's very important. Or chocolate that has alcohol. That's also very important. Even perfume that contains alcohol. To some people, not everybody, but some people, yes. That's not necessarily acceptable. Any items that comes from product of porks. So from pork, please, nothing that has pork skin or pork bones or pork lard or whatever it is. When it comes to greetings, as GCC nationals, we speak Arabic. So therefore, Assalamu alaikum most famous. Assalamu alaikum means peace be upon you. Reply back to that, Wa alaikum assalam. That means peace be upon you too. It's like a handshake with a promise. On the other hand, when it comes to how are you? Kif halak. For a woman, kif halik. The way we reply to that is Alhamdulillah. Thank God I'm in fine shape. On the other hand, when you say thank you, it's shukran. You can reply with shukran jazilan, or if you want to say never mind, you could say afwan. Ahlan wa sahlan means welcome. Ma'a salama means goodbye. Now that we have talked about how to treat GCCs and how to accommodate Emirati nationals, I trust that if you do all of that and keep in mind our well-being, that you will win our business over and over again. We as GCC, we love to talk about our experiences, where we have been. We love to give also advice where to go. And we listen very carefully and very closely. We love to go places where other people have said good things about. And so as Orange County, you do your part towards our visitors, our guests in Orange County. We will come back here and we will tell them, you have to go to Orange County. It's the best place on earth. And hopefully everybody will come in to visit you. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I would like to now say, please, we are coming to Orange County, we're going to enjoy it and we're going to love it. We would like to also invite you to come to Dubai, to come to the UAE at large. We welcome you, we'd love to have you. On the end, don't forget Sheikh Mohammed Center for Culture Understanding. So you can come and see me actually, and you will enjoy a good, nice, traditional interaction, meal, and getting to know the Emirati culture too. Thank you.